Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Charlie Ward Show. I'm Paul Brooker, and today I am joined by a very special round table of doctors. Hello, everybody. How are we all doing?
I'm
Great.
so great.
Hello, hello.
Excellent.
So glad
And
Charlie Ward had to step away because Paul, you're so
Yeah,
much
we
more fun.
got you.
well, we're going to dive right into the show because there is quite a lot of people. We've got loads to cover today. So, Dr. Ardis, how are you? What's going on out there?
Yeah, I'm doing great, man. I'm super thrilled to be here with you and everybody at home. I love Charlie Ward. He knows how I feel about him. And by the way, Charlie, you better watch this. I was just on the show with, actually on the phone, having a private conversation with our buddy Patriot Street Fighter Scott McKay, and I told him I was going to go on the show, and he's like, "Oh, I love Charlie. I see him every few months on his platform." Anyway, Patriot Street Fighter says the whole audience says hello as well. He loves you all. I love you too, and we are doing great. We are so thrilled, honored to be hanging out with you tonight, Paul. I love you too. We've done many interviews together, but the announcement, the reason for this roundtable tonight is one singular reason. Again, this is going to be the third annual celebration of solutions for all things health, living, spirituality. It's called Healing for the Ages 3.0, and it is occurring in October, just next month from now. October 23rd, 24th, and 25th. You can either join us physically in Dallas, Texas, or you can watch virtually with the other tens of thousands around the world. We don't care how you get there. Just get your rear in there because we have some incredible topics to cover. How to make yourself and your home healthy again. That is the entire mantra of this year for the Healing for the Ages team. And we are thrilled to bring multiple presenters, the four of us over 2 days on Friday and Saturday. That event will be speaking on various topics of how we have learned to keep ourselves, our family, our pets, and our loved ones healthy, and how we've guided our patients to do the same. And then on the first day, we have 6 incredible, dynamic experts in their own field of health and wellness and liberation from tyranny who are going to be there to present on topics to make you, your loved ones, empowered to go home with real tools, real steps to start on day one, improving your health, what not to do, what to consider to do as options for you. Please go to healingfortheages.com and join us at Healing for the Ages here in October. It's going to be thrilling. We got all kinds of topics. One of the things I'm going to drop tonight while we're hanging out, no one wants to just listen to me. Enough people hear about me and hear my voice. However, there's a topic I have actually dove into per a part of Dr. Jana Schmidt on the screen, who specializes and loves helping people have babies. She was once a baby. She, for some reason, just loves babies. And she has a massive success rate at taking people who can't have babies to have babies. And on the cusp of some of my conversations privately with her, I said, what are some of the things you do in the beginning of telling people this is what we're going to do now that you've had multiple failed pregnancies? And one of the things she just whimsically said, like it was nonchalant, she's like, well, first off, I put everybody on bee pollen, which she can talk about forever. And then she said, number 2, one of the second things I make sure they take out of their diet and out of their lives are any food substances that have stevia in them. And I was like, hold up. Okay, I got to go do some research on this. I have heard of cultures outside of America, more underdeveloped rural communities of the world, where when someone is pregnant unwantingly and they want to induce an abortion, the medicine men and women in those villages just tell them to eat leaves of stevia. And it is known that stevia, the plant, is known to induce abortions and miscarriages. Well, now it's in a whole bunch of our food, being told it's a alternative, better sweetener than sugar. And I just want everybody to know, I did a deep dive over the last several weeks wanting to be familiarized myself with the actual mechanisms at which stevia, when you swallow it in any form, how does it actually contribute to miscarriages and infertility? Can it do that? Can it really induce abortions? Oh my God. They have known since 1968 that stevia does that. I will teach you in this little presentation how that works. It's not what I'm discussing in the conference coming up, but it was so important. I needed to make the world know, as every media outlet right now, Newsweek, Associated Press, BBC, all of them are publishing right now in 2025. The fertility rates have continued to plummet from this year, from last year in all countries around the world. Newsweek even did an article on it, and I have it in my presentation. They summarize all the declining fertility rates in every country around the world from 2024 to 2025. And 99% of them are all declining. Well, imagine if everybody's swallowing something they think is healthier for them, actually induces and makes it impossible for you to maintain a full-term pregnancy. And you were being sold that it was actually healthy for you. Wow. how amazing would that be? Well, I can perfectly explain it to you, and I will do that. That's enough of me yapping, Paul. I love all of you. Our goal is to make sure you've been warned, you're inspired, and you have real knowledge that scientists around the world have been doing for decades. But it's just been withheld from your knowledge. And we want to share with you what has allowed us to expand in success and vitality in our families, even by number. I mean, me and my wife have 8 kids. How many of you want kids? How many of you are struggling to have kids? Now, you might want to pay attention to what we teach you here at Healing for the Ages. All right, that's enough for me. Everybody, sign up at healingfortheages.com. What's your promo code for Charlie Ward?
It will be Charlie17, everybody.
Charlie17. Put it in at checkout at healingfortheages.com. You'll save 30% off or up to 30% off on virtual tickets, in-person tickets. You might want to come hang out with us. It's going to be a party down in Dallas, Texas. Or if you can't be in Dallas, you're going to watch the party and listen to the music pumping through your speakers as we celebrate the awesomeness that is nature.
100.
All right. Dr. Ely, what are you excited about? Dr. Ely actually, behind the scenes, literally is the executive producer of this entire thing. That guy has been a monumental pillar for the Healing for the Ages success. So grateful for everything he's done for the last 3 years. And I hold solely responsible for our success for the last 3 years. And it is a testament to his work ethic, his love and passion for humanity. And this guy is building schools, courses 24/7 to help people unravel the causes for their concerns, health-wise and symptoms. There is always a cause. It is not that you inherited it. That's the favorite blanket.
And Dr. Artis, it's not my favorite thing that you always say either. And thank you for that. I'm blushing, of course. But but it's not even the thing you say all that. It's not a deficiency of a pharmaceutical. All right. You are not deficient in a vaccine. You are not deficient in Ozempic. You are not deficient in remdesivir. You're not deficient in these things, healers. So we got to unlearn some stuff. You know what I'm really looking forward to?
Hold on. Are you saying that every mother out there watching this whose child's had a fever and ran to the medicine cabinet, are you saying that child's fever is not a reaction to Tylenol deficiency?
You know, the next time we have a Tylenol deficiency on the planet will be the first time. So.
Could you imagine the fevers? Everybody's core body temperature, no longer will it be 98.6. If we got rid of Tylenol, everybody's temperature is just going to elevate. The normal might be 99.5. You never know. Thank God for Tylenol.
Right. Thank God for Tylenol, right? Especially right after an injury from a shot, right? That's the worst thing you could give. So, hey, healers, you know, we are super excited again to host everybody for this 3rd edition. The first 2 editions have been so fantastic, Paul. So much love in the room. You can just feel what's going on. We have great food. One of the things that Dr. Group came up with the first time, he was like, why don't we have organic food, at our own conferences? So yes, of course, that happened immediately. It was like, yeah, it's a no-brainer. We can actually eat at our conferences too. We're all very picky, kind of snobby eaters, Paul. So it's like, if we can eat the food, you can eat the food. Trust us, it's going to be all right. And then you get this collection of knowledge. And I think for the nerds like us, where we love having fun, love listening to music, love dancing. When you get to boogie with Dr. Artis, Dr. Group, and Dr. Schmidt on Saturday, we do an after party and all that, and they're always fun. Dr. Janet Schmidt's son actually is the MC for our after parties and everything, Jamie, and he does such a great job with it. But it's truly a family affair, you know, and I think that's the thing that really sticks out at the Healing for the Ages conference, why it's the #1 conference in the world. And I think what gets me, Paul, about the whole thing is the excitement of we get to learn too. You know, it's not just we're up there. You go to some conferences and you have all these big names around and everything, right? And it's like they do their part and then they're out. You do their part and then they're on their phone handling a lot. That's not how we do things. You know, once Dr. Artis starts teaching, we're all in the front row sitting down taking notes. You know what I mean? When Dr. J is up there leading the show, we're up there. We're behind the scenes usually because I got to do a little bit of work back there. But we're all, what did she just say? Oh, she just said, oh, yeah, hold on, get my notebook. Let me write that down. I want to ask her about that later. Dr. Group just crushes it every year. He said this crazy thing, Paul, the first year where he was breaking down transhumanism. And it's so normal for him because he's been dealing with this for so long that he was like saying these things as just matter of fact. And then he stopped and he looked out of the crowd and he saw that everybody was a little bit, you know, like, wait, what did you just say, Dr. Group? And he was like, no, but we're going to win. I'm going to show you now how we're going to win and how we're going to do this. That's why I'm not worried about it. Just look at me. Do I look worried? I'm not worried. He's never worried. So it's just this great experience, Paul, great food, great folks, great fun, you know, and it's this memorable time. And the cool part about it is it's truly an education. So when folks come in, we give them a workbook. We want you are coming in to be a student. No more patience. You come in to be a student, take your notes in the book, and then we have a plan for you at the end of the conference because we do a follow-up. This is something you won't hear at other conferences. We do a virtual follow-up with everybody in attendance a couple weeks after the conference is over, so we can ask questions about them putting into play what we laid out for them. And this year's theme Dr. Group came up with that was so incredible, and it's MyHA, not Maha. We're done with Maha. It's make yourself healthy again, because the only person that can make you healthy is you. That's a fact. The government has exactly zero history in any civilization all throughout time of making their people healthy. All right. And that's only gotten worse since the Flexner Report in 1910. So we get to come together. We get to have a wonderful experience, a lot of hugs, a lot of love, Paul, and especially a lot of knowledge being shared, functional knowledge that you can put into play right away. How about you, Dr. J? What do you love about the conference?
Well, there's so much, and you've hit so many highlights. I really love that we're talking about such serious topics, but it comes with such joy. So yes, there's heavy topics. And I do remember that moment when Dr. Group was like freaking everybody out. And he's like, oh, but hey, hold on. Hey, stay with me. We've got solutions. So that's why we call it Celebration of Solutions. And it's just an absolute honor to share the teaching stage with these three amazing, beautiful people. Their personality, their teaching style, we're all different, but we all overlap at the same time. So I really love that, and everyone feels it. So our motivation behind what we're doing is to help people. Like, we want to give as much as we possibly can so people can take it and make us obsolete. Like, we want to make ourselves, the teachers are teaching, you take the information and you teach as well. So we're encouraging other people to think for themselves, to research for themselves, not just what do I do? And asking people what they do. They're going to know what to do once they're finished with these conferences. It's incredible.
That's wonderful, because I'm a big advocate myself in, if you understand something, you'll do it 10 times better, that rather than someone going, here, take this. And I'm like, okay, but why am I like this? What is causing this? So much about medical science these days is covering up symptoms, not treating the root cause. And that baffles me, because all these oaths that doctors like yourselves swear to, you're supposed to be healers. And a lot of people out there now aren't healing. They're just covering up, is the only way to describe it. But anyway, back over to yourselves, because everyone wants to hear from you, not me today.
All right. So number one, let me just interject in for group talks. All right. So for 2 years now, we've had 2 annual conferences, monthly master classes with the Healing for the Ages. Yep. Hello, everybody who's a Healing for the Ages monthly member, annual member. We salute you. Thank you for the support. All right. So as everybody comes together and gathers for these master classes monthly digitally, then come annually for this big annual conference in each fall of the last 3 years. Everyone comes in wanting to know what's the state of the world right now, guys, as you see it. And can you help me? Nobody has seen more of this world this year than the man on the screen named Dr. Ed Group. Ed Group, since our last conference, how many countries have you been to? I'm serious.
I lost count.
Can you tell me how many countries you've been to? And then I want you to tell me right now on the screen, how concerned are you for the whole world, and what did you experience while traveling the whole earth in the last 12 months since the last conference?
I've been concerned for the world for the last 30 years, like all of you, and like Charlie, and like Paul. I mean, just, it feels like an ongoing mission. It is an ongoing mission of just really trying to help save humanity. I think the biggest difference between what we teach and what the majority of other doctors out there teach is that we teach root cause philosophy. We don't teach symptomology. And you normally hear that, when you talk about the allopathic, but I'm talking about natural. I can't tell you how many times I'm talking to a doctor, a naturopathic doctor, and they're like, oh yeah, take this for that, take this for that, take this for that. And it's like, guys, we need to really start talking about I'm a man of simplicity. Like all of us are really. It's like we really want to talk about simplicity. People can get confused. We're going through this chaos, this trauma, this suffering of the planet so it can transform. This is a transformation that's happening. And because we've been so lost, because we've been so distracted over the years, it's a wake-up call. I mean, people are getting shook up. There's going to be some people that wake up, and there's going to be some people that never wake up. And that's the yin and the yang of things. It's the positive and the negative of things. And so, about 3 years ago, our whole philosophy is very simple, Paul. All disease, all mental disorders, if you want to call them mental disorders, anything that you might consider as a negative or anything that you might consider as a symptom or anything that's going on in the body that's causing you any form of negativity or low energy in your life, whether it's a disease, dis-ease, or anything else, is all caused by really 4 things: time, decisions, poisons. It's really like 2 things: time and decisions, and then poisons. Well, what's the opposite of poisons? That's detoxification. So I'm talking about poisoning of the 3 things that we all have: the body, the mind, and the soul. And the thing is, it's almost, most people don't even realize that they're poisoning their body, mind, and soul because they've been so manipulated with the biggest weapon that's ever been created that's killed more people than anything else, which is disinformation and censorship. Because that has convinced people to eat fast food, the chemicals to alter the taste buds, getting people addicted to sugar and alcohol in the 60s. All of these things have been completely planned out. What got me really, really disturbed was around 2017 when Big Pharma started calling themselves biotech all of a sudden. It was not Big Pharma anymore. It was biotech. I was like, what the heck? Why are they changing their name? Like, why are they rebranding to biotech? And of course, that's when Bill Gates and Klaus Schwab and everybody started talking about the transhumanism agenda. And I quote, "We want to convert the carbon-based human life form to a silica-based life form that can be controlled through electromagnetic frequencies, cell phones, laptops, everything else." The reason why that you're not going to see any more big false flags like 9/11 and you haven't seen a massive disruption like we've seen in 2011 and since this pandemic, and I don't believe we're going to see anything huge like that again, is because their plan is already moving forward at 100% and it's not slowing down. And that's the transhumanism agenda. There's no need for the elites to do anything like that anymore, the pandemics. They already installed 500,000 new towers during Operation Warp Speed, which was Operation Telecommunications Upgrade at the same time. That was the smoke and mirrors. It let everybody focus on Operation Warp Speed when we get all the cell phone towers updated and get these grids set up in the W-band network and the M-band network and get everybody connected so we can control everybody. The Ages has been talking about this and screaming it from the rooftop for the last 3 or 4 years. I have, but you know what? And they know this. When I say they, I'm talking about the elites. Is that people cannot comprehend, and you cannot see nanotech, you cannot taste nanotech, you cannot smell nanotech. It is invisible. It's invisible warfare, just like the frequencies are invisible. You can't feel them, see them, touch them, but they cause damage on a cellular level. Right now, there's no doubt in my mind, because we've tested unvaxxed and vaxxed blood from people, for the last 3 years, that every single person on the planet has nanotech. You can walk in a grocery store and pick toilet paper, toothpaste. You can pick cereal off the shelf. You can pick anything out of that grocery store and you're going to be able to find some form of nanotech. They are already transforming humanity. So they're sitting back laughing at all this RFK is going to ban this and all this stuff over here. It doesn't even matter to them at this point. They've already initiated everything they're going to do. including, with the pandemic and getting everybody injected and everything else. And nobody's talking about what their main mission is. They've been coming out and telling us exactly what they're going to do, and nobody is even talking about it. People are talking about, yeah, don't get me wrong. Of course we don't want pesticides, and of course we want to do as much as we possibly can to help the planet and get rid of sugar and food dyes and all that other stuff. But it's a diversion away from what their main mission is and what they've been telling us and what they've been screaming in our ears. So our main focus.
Wait, you don't think it's all about Epstein files? No, you've been traveling the world. That's all they want to talk about in the media.
Right. And so, if you really look at it, it doesn't matter if it's EMFs, it doesn't matter if it's mercury, aluminum, pesticides, insecticides, the crappy food that you're putting in, the genetically modified yeast is what they're using to produce the spike proteins and many other things, styrene, microplastics, you name it. If you categorize all that stuff, it's really just, what are they? They're poison. They're toxins. Okay, so what is the solution for poisons and toxins? Get rid of them. Stop putting them in your body. Detoxify. That's simple.
All the time.
So our philosophy is, it's just amazing to me because you can walk around and we talk about this, look, we need the teachers and the patriots and the freedom fighters and the God-loving Christians and, the people that are out there on the stages, how many events have you been to? How many events have we been to in the last, couple years where there's 30 speakers on the lineup and there's, a couple thousand people in the audience and you're looking around the audience and everybody looks sick and overweight. And the speakers that are on the stage that are supposed to be teaching us about how to be healthy are fat and bald and, unhealthy. I mean, this is ridiculous, the situation that we've gotten ourselves in right now. And this is why God is basically shaking everybody and saying, you need to take responsibility for your own self. You are an energetic being, and the reason you're here is to become enlightened and to be with me. And the kingdom of heaven is within you. It's not outside of you. It's within you. And this is what I've been, for me, I'm asking the question, why are we telling people and advising people on health, whether it's natural or allopathic, and we're using statistics and fake studies of the last 100 years, okay? Why are we not looking at the last 4,000 years, okay? Why are we not studying the ancient? This is what I've been doing and traveling around the world is meeting with these ancient Qigong masters, meeting with these grandmasters that some people say are 300 years old, 200 years old. You can't even get to them because it's like the ancient art of the Taoist healing arts is when you get to the highest level of a grand master, which I've had the chances, it's like martial arts. It can take, a whole 30, 40 years to get there. You start as a white belt, then you go to a yellow belt. Same the healing process too. You start off just by finding out, oh, aspartame is bad, stevia is bad. You're a white belt. Then you move on to a yellow belt.
I like that.
I missed you, Dr. Griff. I missed you so much, bro. This is his first show, Paul, back with us. This is his first show back with us for a minute because he's been traveling so much.
Because I've been in the jungles,
That's what I'm saying.
And doing Qigong and understanding that it's really all about energy and vibration. You're getting up. And one of the grandmasters said to me, because when you get to the top levels, the secret is in silence. I mean, how freaking powerful is that? It's like silence is power, and it's all about utilizing your own energy and utilizing the things that you've already been given, but it's about taking your own power back. It's about cultivating the energy, getting good sleep, grounding, water only fasting. It's about breathing, it's about laughter. It's about stress reduction. It's about Qigong, grounding yourself to the earth, bringing up the energy. This is why all the ancient traditions utilized urotherapy, urine therapy. They use mindfulness, music, tree hugging, sunlight. It's about sunlight, sacred lovemaking. And that's, you know, that's not, I'm not talking about sex. If you look at the Kama Sutra, which most people think is a sex book, it was actually written to give people healing technologies of how to live their life. Just one little section of it was positions, but it's gotten a bad name. That was the ancient Indian. That's how Tantra came to be involved. And the original writings from like 4,000 years ago was nothing about having sex or anything like that. It was about cultivating the masculine and feminine energy for immortality and spiritual growth. Activating your pineal gland, and because when you cultivate your energy between the man and the woman, what the grandmasters would say is you can get to the point where the woman and the man can become, let's just say immortal, but you can live a long time and you can regenerate all your cells in your body extremely fast. And what they defined sacred love making is creating the frequency of love. Okay, that's what it was. You're vibrating at the frequency of love within your system, and that's how the Chinese, when they had the hospital over in China, which we saw the video online, where they had these high level Taoist healing practitioners, which go in and the person has a tumor the size of a grapefruit, and they all put their hands over them, and you can see within 5 minutes the whole size of the tumor, the grapefruit, shrinking down into nothing. So ultimately, we're nothing more than an energetic being, and love has a lot to do with it. We just have to start loving ourselves again and taking responsibility for ourselves. And we are the only ones that can save ourselves. I'm sorry to say that, everybody, but you're going to have to take this is why our theme this year is make yourself healthy again. Because you are the only one that's going to have to make that decision. I said time and decisions because that's all you have in your life, right? You make so many decisions every single day. You wake up, what am I going to eat? What am I going to drink? Am I going to go work out? Am I going to meditate? Blah, 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 blah. Those are the decisions that you're making. You got to start making those right decisions right now so you can move forward in your life. And now is the time, because we're faced right now with a scenario of us being, without our consent, being turned into a cyborg. And another thing that the grandmasters that I was talking about talk so much about is that it is our responsibility to create the person that we want to create. And ultimately, when that love and that energy is at its strongest, we should work towards ourselves being a person with no ego, being a person that has no judgment, being a person that practices forgiveness.
That's right. And
above all, our unity and spiritual enlightenment that we here to achieve. So, you know, I'll say one other thing that kind of baffles me. If you know that you're poisoning yourself for 10, 20, 30 years, I ask people, when is the last time you actually detoxed your body? When is the last time you even did an intestinal cleanse? When's the last time you did a liver cleanse? When's the last time you did a parasite cleanse? When's the last time you did a chemical and heavy metal cleanse? Now we have to ask, when's the last time you did a nanotech cleanse? And nobody, you know, think about what the body goes through for so many years, 10, 20, 30 years of just putting all these chemicals and toxins, and for the mind too, you know, what you're watching, what you're believing, what you're seeing, what you're hearing, the friends you're hanging out with, you know, all this stuff that's coming into your mind. It's really all about taking you away from spending time with God in a way, looking on the outside instead of going in the inside. And so now is the time, ladies and gentlemen, to make sure that you register for this year's Healing for the Ages conference and go back and watch the last one and go back and watch the first one, because we've been revealing all this stuff. We're not getting up there and going, oh, you're suffering from Alzheimer's? Here, take these 20 products. Oh, you're suffering from COVID? Take these 20 products. We're giving you products that work, like Dr. Ardis, you know, with all the venom stuff and with the nicotine, and we're giving you the EMF protection information. Dr. Jan is giving you all the great herbal formulas.
And the global healing stuff that's really awesome too.
Which by the way, I mean, that's, bee pollen is one of the most effective things in the world. I mean,
Yeah, it is.
that's, if you're a vegetarian or if you're a vegan, especially, well, some vegans don't believe they can have bee products, which that's another, weird thing.
Foolishness.
Anyway, yeah, bee pollen, we give you the easy solutions, but really the core of it is stop doing it, stop messing with your mind, stop, analyze your life, clean your external and your internal environment. We already went through the whole how to clean your bedroom and make it a sacred space, how to clean your bathroom and make it a sacred space, how to clean your kitchen and make it a sacred space. Here is the great news, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have to worry about what's going on in the world. You don't have to spend time, 20 hours a day on social media looking to see what's happening over here and what's happening over there. Spend your time creating your own happy and healthy bubble. Okay? I can do that. I can create a beautiful home to live in. I can have my own garden. I can create a beautiful office that I go to work in every single day. I can create a beautiful mind. I can create a beautiful body. I can create a beautiful soul. You have the power to do that, and it's time for everybody to take back responsibility and do that again. And start by cleansing your body, cleansing your mind, cleansing your soul. And that's what we teach, and that's what we do at all of us. We all have different protocols. Sometimes we all have different products. I mean, but we all teach the same thing. The root cause of disease and how to get rid of it. You can go, here's the beautiful thing about natural medicine and natural medicine practitioners, right? You go to any allopathic heart cardiovascular doctor anywhere in the world, and you have high blood pressure or you have fatty, clogging, you're going to get put on the same exact prescription medication, statins or whatever, anywhere you go. You could go to 5,000 different natural health practitioners, and I guarantee you're not going to walk out the door with the exact same protocol. That's the beauty of how many things we have that can actually help you heal your body. And they're going to find the perfect things for you, and they're going to analyze that for you. So it's like, that's why Big Pharma and allopathic always says, oh, well, they can't agree on anything because they want us all to use the same thing or recommend the same thing. But the beauty is we pay attention to the client, we pay attention to the patient, the environment in which they live, and then we customize the program.
Dr. Group, can I jump in real quick on that thought before you finish? If their thought process, Paul, worked, then why in the United States alone are they killing 250 to 450,000 Americans every year when they do it one size fits all? If it worked, it would have proven itself by now. You all have over 100 years to try this nonsense out. It hasn't worked. That's why people are so dissatisfied. That's why no one wants to go to a hospital and roll the dice there. They're looking for answers. And what happens now is people are wondering, who do I trust? Well, you got 4 on screen right now, 5 really, that you can trust right now, 4 with the medical side of it. And they also want to know, what do I need to do? Well, what Dr. Group is telling you that I want you all to hear right now is he's telling you it's much more than a pill. It's much more than something that you can buy. It's changing your entire choice structure about what you value and what you're going to be a part of, because that's where freedom exists, in the choice that you can make. And if you just grab hold of that, then you are going to be free. And then you'll have these moments of weakness. But you know what? The healthier your body gets because of the detoxification, because what the 4 of us teach you, the healthier you get, the easier it is to hold firm on what you believe and the choices you make, to continue to reaffirm this decision that I am going to be free. I am going to have a great relationship with my creator. I'm just going to absolutely radiate love all over the place, because that's possible too. And who are going to be the beneficiaries? The people who are closest to you. That's how you restore the family structure. And I don't know about you, when everybody's feeling good and frisky in the household, maybe something happens at night that you can create a little one, and your bodies are ready to create that little one and bring new life into this world, a carbon-based life into this world. Thank you, Dr. Group. I went a little bit long, but I felt like the preacher was coming out. Back over to you, brother.
Oh no, it's good. I mean, we're just all God's volunteers, and we're just here to do God's work. And I mean, basically, God is forcing humanity to wake up. I mean, it's now more than ever is the time to start taking responsibility for your own health. I mean, we're being called to elevate the consciousness of the planet individually as a whole. Elevate your lifestyle, your daily habits. This is why there's so much pain and trauma and chaos. And we've been talking about this. You know, people look at all this pain and trauma and chaos. Every single one of us has gone through it, probably multiple times. This is a shaking up. It's not, I don't know anybody that hasn't had family members or had some issue at work or had some health issue. The whole world is going through some sort of pain and trauma and suffering, but that's not a bad thing. The pain and trauma and suffering is actually a good thing. That's if you come from the mindset that everything in life happens for you and not to you, ultimately you accept that and you understand later on that that's really how life works. You have to live in the expectation of miracles every single day. You have to spend time in self-development.
Can you say that again, Dr. Group? Can you say that one again? I love every time you say that.
What, living in the expectation of miracles every day?
Yes. Oh man, it's so good.
Yeah, it's just spending time with, like, how much time do you spend with yourself, really, is asked that question, you know, and that's really the big thing that they've done is get us away from ourselves. And now is the time to come back to yourself. Now is the time to take responsibility for yourself and reactivate. There is no better healing system in the world. Not me, not anybody here, not any medical doctor, than what your own body can do. Your body has the strongest self-healing mechanism in the world. It's waiting on you to activate it. So you have to ask yourself the question, how motivated are you right now to change your life? Because remember what we talked about, time and decisions runs your whole life. Because that's all you have. Time is the most valuable asset. You know, it's like, whoop, it's gone. Like, we're never going to get that back again.
Nope.
Making the right decisions. That's the key. And it only takes a nanosecond to make a decision. Yes, we've been as humanity that's been brainwashed. Ask yourself how much you love your life right now. I mean, I can tell you every single one of the doctors here has counseled thousands and thousands of people and most likely asked them, do you look in the mirror and say, can you look in the mirror and say, I love myself? And, you know, most of the time they will say no. I mean, when's the last time you actually felt good? And when you can look in the mirror and say, I am confident, I am strong, I feel amazing, I am happy, I have joy in my life. Very few people over the age of 20, probably 30, 40 can even answer that. They'll all say, oh, I remember, back in high school when I was a cheerleader or a football player or something like that. That is sad. That is a really sad state that we live in right now. How much do you love your life right now? Go ask some people, how much do you love your life right now? No one's going to say, like, oh, I love my life right now. It's awesome. Because we've been conditioned and brainwashed to the negative. Everybody around us, you go, the women and the men go to their groups, their hunting groups or their golf games or tennis or whatever, and they bitch about their relationships and they bitch about their work and blah, blah, blah. It's negative. Then you have the women that are going to their luncheons and all this other stuff, and then they're complaining about their husbands and complaining about this. It's because we have been manipulated mentally to think of the negative all the time and to complain about stuff all the time instead of, how many times do you hear a group going, hey, how positive are you? How good are you doing right now? That's the shift that we need to do. You know, we're the chosen ones. We're the leaders out there, not from an egotistical standpoint, but you, Paul, Charlie, everybody out there that's dedicated their life to helping humanity. I mean, we were chosen to do that. You know, like we chose to do that. We chose to come down and to sacrifice a lot of things. You know, it's not easy for our significant others. It's not easy when we have death threats. It's not easy when we get attacked all the time. It's not easy when we get censored and we get taken off everywhere. But what do we continue to do? We continue to just go and go and go, and because we first of all, we take care of our own self and our own health, because we have to be
That's
that
right.
pillar as a teacher that they can look at
That's
and
right.
say, they're doing it, I can do it too, which is very rare. That's become a rarity now. And we've all been around for 20, 30 years. There's a lot of these new doctors that are just popping out of nowhere. God bless them. They're out there, trying to teach the truth and everything, but there's still a lot for people to understand, and people are getting confused out there. And that's why we really want to,
Yeah.
that's why Brian brought us all together, so we can, end the
Yeah.
confusion out there and give people simple solutions. I'll tell you one other thing that I learned from the Grand Masters, which is super important. I'm a chiropractor. Dr. Brian Artis is a chiropractor, and even in the ancient books, it says there's a quote by one of the yogis. I can't remember it, but basically, pretty much all the techniques are healing and moving the spine constantly.
Yes.
And moving energy up it, or most of the qigong movements, even the yoga movements, were all based upon nutrients to the spine.
Fine.
If you take care of your spine, you're going to live a long, healthy life. That's where all the nerves come out of your organs and everything else. And it's good to hear that, because that's the basis of what chiropractic was made upon: the magnetic, the energy, the vibration. In all of the ancient texts, it's all about bringing that energy up the spine. It's cultivating that powerful energy and bringing it up and moving it into all the organs to heal. So that's what I have to say. And even it's because in the ancient days, and I'm talking about 4,000 years of practice of these things that can heal any disease in 15 days.
Yeah.
The largest organ, according to all of these ancient texts, was and is the aura, the biofield, your energetic. That was always considered the largest organ, not your skin. And that was always the first thing that was focused on, balancing the energy in your largest organ. If your largest organ is healthy, your energetic field, your biofield, why do you think they're attacking us? That's the most important thing: your energy, your vibration, your biofield. That's your largest organ. If you can take that out in people, what do you think is going to happen to them?
Yep. It's all a wrap at that point. Paul, I got to ask you a question here. You just heard, this brother just ripped it up, right?
Yeah.
What are you thinking after you hear all of that from him?
I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing enough. I started my journey properly at the beginning of this year. I've given up alcohol, which 3 months I'd probably say it took me to get totally over the cravings, the withdrawal, you name it. My one I'm working on at the moment is sugar. That's my next one, because I've realised I am a sugar junkie, and I did not realise how bad it is. And that's a slow process. I did coffee 3 months ago because, it's weird. You've got like different levels of addiction in your body, is the only way I can describe it, speaking from myself.
Totally you do.
So true.
Coffee was my worst one, where I'd just look back on myself, and I'd start off with 1 cup a day. Then I'd go up to 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'd crash because I just had too much. And then I'd start the whole addiction again. 1 cup, then back up to 5 or 6, then crash again. And we don't even see it happening to us most of the time. And as you rightly said, your energy levels go totally out of whack because of all these different
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question about that real quick. Now you've identified some really cool stuff, and you're doing a great job. You're taking things out, and that's a challenge, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you listen to what Dr. Group just said, what are you putting in? Because it's not enough just to take out. We got to put something in. Dr. J came up with something. What was it? Last year, Dr. J? It was a year before. It was I think it was 23 where we came upon this. Now you're transitioning, right? Paul, from sugar, but you still need sweet. Sweet is a very real flavor that stimulates an energy within us, and really a creative energy. In Chinese medicine, it's going to stimulate the sweetness, is going to stimulate the earth element, which is going to be your digestion. And we know its relevance, the sweetness for the brain, right? And it's this kind of happiness, this joy. That's why we crave sweet pretty much over any flavor. But it's where you get your sweet that's so important. So what Dr. J found out, and she already knew this, but it was kind of, we were explaining, well, why doesn't honey get moldy? Why doesn't it go bad? You know what I mean? We're talking about the organic, raw, unfiltered honey, the good stuff, right? Why doesn't it go bad? It doesn't go bad because there is an enzyme in there called glucose oxidase, which is abbreviated as what, Dr. J?
God. Abbreviated as God. When we all saw that, we're like, whoa. And when we saw what it did, it was like, okay, this makes perfect sense. It's the Ferrari of enzymes. It's fast, it's effective, it's absolutely incredible for helping you your body to make hydrogen peroxide, which then helps your body kick off pathogens, harmful pathogens. Absolutely incredible.
Right. Isn't that crazy bananas, Paul? Like right there?
Yeah.
Right. But now what you got is a solution. You're switching, you're not giving up sweet. What you're giving up is your choice for where you get your sweet. Mm-hmm. The sugar is going to feed the refined sugars. They're going to feed infections. It's something Dr. Group has been teaching about for a very long time. Dr. Artis as well, about when you are eating sugar, all you're doing are feeding infections that you may not even realize are in your body, especially if it's yeast and modified now in this day and age. Very dangerous, potential bioweapon delivery system. But what's so fascinating is if you make that different choice and you move from that sugar into the honey, what's going to happen for you is you still get that sweet, but now you're putting medicine in your body. And just like Dr. J said, it's going to turn on your cell's immune system, and it's going to kill those things that were thriving off of your earlier choice for where you were getting sweet. But what did it really come down to? You making a choice. And so where we come in is we help you make those choices faster, easier, and better, how they can be more effective. There's no guesswork. And one of the things we've all come to as teachers, and we've been teaching now for over 100 years combined, what we've come to is if you're going to take something out, make sure you put something good back into. Make sure you reward yourself with a positive experience. Don't just make it a punishment where something's being taken away that you really did like, even though it wasn't healthy for you. Does that make some sense?
Oh, it makes perfect sense, because you do end up with a void. There is a void. I can tell you now, alcohol, holding a glass at night with your nice red in it or a rosé, whichever you drink, to have that taken away, you do find yourself looking for something to replace that. And as you rightly said about the honey, I've started taking real organic natural honey this year for hay fever. Oh my God, it is better than any pharmaceutical you could possibly take. And all I had was a teaspoon in the morning. A teaspoon in the morning. Obviously, I have to stress it needs to be local to where you live because of the pollens. I'm not an expert. I believe Dr. Jana is, and I'll let her say some more on that if I get anything wrong at all. But my God, it was so effective this year. I mean, my health journey's really started this year when I started looking at everything going on around me, the people around me, everything. And it's a slow process. Please don't think, everybody, you can flip this overnight, because your body will just shock out. And trust me, I've tried it. I've tried doing things overnight, and your body just does not handle it well. So I'm doing this slowly, and I think I'm making progress. The sugar one is my biggest problem. And I think you're rightly saying there that maybe I need to look at honey a little bit more, because I need something to just stem the flow of that craving.
Right.
Can I tell you a little something? Can I tell you? Oh, sorry, Dr. Artis. You go ahead. Go ahead, brother.
I was just going to say, if you want to study Janet Appleton's work, she's got a book called How to Lick the Sugar Habit. And she has a list of, she's the world's expert on sugar, just consuming sugar. It's called How to Lick the Sugar Habit. She's the world's expert, 50 years on studying sugar and its impact on human life. She has a list she compiled before she passed away recently in the last 10 years. And that list included 148 diseases that sugar directly causes in the human body.
Hmm.
So you might want to consider, is sugar really what you want when you're being programmed every day to be afraid of cancer, heart disease, and diabetes? Well, why don't you just stop doing some of that and just
Right.
make this stuff real to you by reviewing that list and go, hey, of these 148 diseases that, including every cancer on earth, do I really want those things? Maybe you should stop putting the things into you that directly are known scientifically to cause them. It's a good idea
Yeah.
to not poison yourself.
And have you noticed, Paul, that when you get away from it a little bit and you start putting things that are good for your body, like have you noticed the shift of your body potentially not craving the things that are bad for you anymore, and you start looking to the things because you know how good it makes you feel? That's an amazing shift when that starts to happen to people and the lights go on, and it'll make you want to do more and more in the right direction.
Oh, 100%, 100%. And the cravings diminish. That's the thing that I'm
Yes.
learning the most. Like alcohol, those first 3 months, and trust me, if anyone says, oh, yeah, you can kick it in a month, it's all lies. It's 3 months. This is my own personal experience. 3 months it took me to go, I don't want that glass of wine in the evenings.
Mm.
And it is long. It is a long
Mhm.
process, but you also need to have the people around you who want to support you and be around like-minded people. I'm quite fortunate. Charlie, some family, they've all given up alcohol. And do you know what? You with enough people around you who want to go in the right direction, anything is possible. It really
Mhm.
is. It really
Mhm.
is. And I never thought I could give up alcohol because of the social circles I was in. But actually now
Right.
I have. And
Mhm.
it's hard because your friendships change because of it. I'm not going to lie to anybody. They do change. You don't get as many phone calls anymore. That I'll tell you. But do you know what? You find new friendship circles. And that's my own experience with addiction, really, is the only way to describe it.
Well, you know
Isn't
what's
it
interesting about
funny?
that too, Paul? Go ahead, Dr. Group.
No, I said, isn't it funny how, if you look at any newspaper article or any magazine on addiction in the last 100 years, it's all about addiction to drugs, addiction to porn, addiction to alcohol, addiction to sex or porn, when really the number one addiction in the world that's caused more death and destruction is the addiction to food and beverages.
Yeah.
That is, but those are all safe, and those are the ones that they wanted you to get on, and they want, if you can't even watch anything on TV without seeing somebody drink alcohol
Or
every
take
like
a
15
prescription
seconds.
drug, right?
Or
Ever
take,
since you said that, Dr. Group, I started watching that like more closely, and it's in every
Everywhere.
show. And just like Dr. Artis, you pointed out on the cult of Asclepius, and there's always some medical thing. Every single damn show out there, you will find it in somewhere. It's just, Paul, it's bananas. But I wanted to
Isn't
to
it
just
crazy you
first
don't see it till someone points it out?
so someone points it
Right,
out,
right.
and then you're
It's
like, you
so
can't
weird.
stop seeing it,
And
right?
And
You're
you
just
cannot
like,
stop
it's
it.
everywhere. Hey, Paul, I first want to say from all of us to you, big high five, the
Mhm.
highest of fives for the choices that you made and
Yes.
the commitment that you made to yourself to say, I am going to put how I feel above a flavor. I am going to put how I want to feel above a choice of some behavior that I had that was happy and good for a time, but now it's not serving me anymore. And yes, your friendships will change, your friends will change. And not, but the people who are really your friends will never change. And that's
Mhm.
one of the things that's true as well. The people who really love you and really support you, they'll never change. They'll just be happy that you've made these new choices, and your choices may inspire some of them. And even if it's just giving them permission, yeah, let me try a little bit of that honey the next time for hay fever season comes around, because I heard Paul did it and he had a good experience. Right? That's how we work. That word of mouth, like, I trust you. This is what we want to do. Now, I will say this to you. You have these moments where you had to make a different decision. You wanted to make a different decision. What inspired you to make that different decision? Because I bet you there's a whole bunch of people listening right now that it's going to hit home for them as soon as you share what you're about to.
I'm going to just talk about just two of them. my alcohol was waking up groggy every day. And I
Mhm.
was drinking a little bit to excess. Well, no, I'm going to be brutally honest. I was drinking to excess. You know,
Okay.
it was my solution for everything. Sad, angry, happy. There was a glass of wine there. So I got fed up of waking up a bit bleary headed, not having my clear thoughts. Because I have given up alcohol once before, and I did it for a year, and then my mum passed away, and it's no excuse. But I turned back.
Mhm.
And now I'm here, and I'm like, I like having a clear head. I actually really like having a clear head because you're less susceptible to being leveraged by other people because you're like, oh, okay, I just want to get it done. And that's one thing. And the coffee, I got fed up of having the crashes. The crashes in the afternoon, 3 o'clock every day, I would crash. And I mean, I'd get slight jitters or I'd get a headache, you name it. But I couldn't have another cup of coffee because in my body, I knew you do that, Paul, and you're going to get really ill. And subconsciously, I knew I was going to get ill. And they're the two things that sort of triggered me. And you've got to stand back. And one thing I will say, since I started this journey 5 years ago, all of a sudden, once the blinkers have come off you and you can see the world for what it is, you can actually go, I'm breaking the cycle. I'm breaking the cycle. I'm not going to do it time and time again. Round and round we go until the day I die. I've seen too many people, and I've got family members who get cancer. They get the cancer treatment. They change nothing about their lives, and then they wonder why the cancer's come back. Me, currently, right now, I eat apricot kernels. I'm not a doctor, but I know B17 and Laetrile are one of the biggest and strongest fighters of
Go,
cancer.
Paul.
So I'm taking preemptive
John
measures.
Richardson's going to be super happy to hear that.
So, but anyway, I'm not going to rant on anymore. But when those blinkers come off, you can start making real decisions for your own health and your own life. And dare I say it, hopefully for your own loved ones.
That's
Beautifully
what Healing for
said.
the Ages is all about, baby. You just said it right there. You summed it up. We're there to make that transition as easy as it can be, but also as effective as it can be for people. Like I just heard, I'm curious from all the docs. I'm going to say what I just heard coming from you, Paul, and then I want to hear what Dr. Artis thinks. Like, what was the thought that came in your head? Because we're all thinking, we're hearing these things and going, okay, that means this, that means this. You told us something, and you basically said that if you had one more cup of coffee, it would have been it for you, kind of like.
Yeah.
Well, that means that you're a slow acetylator. That means your liver was congested, and needed some help. That's where a little bit of vitamin B6 will help get you over the hump. But what your body's really craving is a liver cleanse at that point, because your body just isn't handling something that you've been overexposing yourself to, and it needs a detox. That stuff has become a poison. It needs a detox. Dr. Ars, what are you thinking when you heard what he was talking about?
My very first thing, applaud you for sure with the alcohol, coffee, sugar. Congratulations. It's typically what we teach people. It's not so much you need to add something into your life as it is you need to stop doing certain stuff. And that stuff's free. Just stop doing it. How much money have you saved since not drinking wine? Oh, my goodness. Come on, people. Everybody around the world is talking about economies slamming down. I'm like, oh, my God, this guy just gave up wine. You know how expensive a bottle of wine is? I bet you, even if it's cheap wine every day, if you're drinking excessively, that's more than one bottle probably every night. All right. So number two was, I know it's hard to make those transitions and we become habitual, right? You got the glass. When you said the glass, like holding the glass at night, you know, my first thought was, why didn't you just put organic, unsweetened cranberry juice in there that looks red and just sip on that and hold the glass? Like, it's a better alternative. You're just used like holding the glass, hold the glass, put something red in there, drink some unsweetened organic cranberry juice, half and half distilled water. It's going to be delicious. And it's going to look like you've got the habit going. You're going to feel good. Anyway, I just think it's incredible that you have recognized that your body taking these very simple things, replacing sugar with a tablespoon of honey every day, has helped you with symptoms you've suffered with probably forever, and you've never felt this good in a hay fever season ever. But you stopped a few things that were simple. And I want to tell you how simple we've made this at Healing for the Ages. Our very first conference, Paul, this should resonate with you. The entire focus was how to introduce in your life a healthy fluid source that you're supposed to drink every day anyway, called water. The whole conference was about why it's so important to filter and distill your water, and we called it home-brewed holy water. I mean, this is introducing you back to the basics, okay? But we're all being conditioned that alcohol should be what's in your glass, or Dr. Pepper should be in your can, or Gatorade should be in your bottle. Whatever it is, you're supposed to be drinking anything but water. Avoid the sun and drink nothing related to water that looks like water, okay? Let's get you back to the basics. Get out in the sun, get on the earth, get on the grounding, and then drink the water, man. This is how life was made. It's how you're designed. It's really simple. We make it more complex than it is, but you've been programmed to accept addictive things as normal. And yes, your relationships change, but I'm gonna tell you right now, anybody who actually backed out of calling you, wanting to hang out with you, those aren't your friends. If you made a choice to make your life personally better and people walked away from you, oh my God, say goodbye. Bye-bye. You weren't true friends anyway. Like, your friends should want to be there for you through thick and thin, through good and bad, sad and happy. I mean, just like a marriage, right? You're for better or for worse, for health or for sickness, right? That's how friendship should be too. All right. That's all I have to say. I'm really, really proud of you and excited for you. And I'm excited to hear what Dr. Jana has to say to wrap up this interview. Dr. Group can do it too, but go ahead, take it away, Dr. Jana.
Well, I applaud you as well for making these difficult decisions, and your motivation is really impressive. Most people don't have that stick-to-itiveness and the motivation to get through what you just described. So amazing. And this is some of the things we help people with. They come so overwhelmed. Where do I start? What do I do? We just break it down and make it very simple and make it doable for everyone. But you did the hard work yourself. So good job. One thing I heard is that you gave up alcohol before, but you went back to it when some trauma happened in your life, when you lost your mother. And that just hit my heart. I thought, well, there's probably ways that you need to handle things that happen in your life, because trauma and things are going to happen. So finding really good avenues to handle that, any kind of trauma or any kind of disappointment, will be really good. So whether it's, stretching exercises, or certain type of prayer time, or there's a variety of ways to handle stress in your life, so you don't turn to that again, because you've done such a good job. But something could happen again in your life, and I don't want that to be a fall, the trauma to cause that. And I will say, on a side note, that your body eats up B vitamins during stress and anxiety. So making sure that that's up to speed can also help you through some traumatic times. But the emotional part, having someone come alongside of you during that time that may also be feeling, down, like if you have siblings or family members that also experience the loss of your mother, talking it out and then also getting it out physically in some way is also very important.
You mean like a rage room? Go break some stuff? Is that what you mean, Jana?
I was thinking of like swimming or running or something.
Oh, never mind. Something more polite.
But
Go hang out with dolphins in the backyard.
Sure.
Yeah,
That helps. If it helps to break something, break something.
That's hilarious.
Hey, Paul, sorry, Doctor. Let me jump in real quick.
I mean, you guys did
so-
amazing. I just wanted to say, hey, congratulations, Paul. That's awesome. I just like to touch on one thing that Dr. Ely said. Our livers are really the main organ that's been under attack for all these years. And that's exactly going back to what Hulda Clark found and many other doctors have found. And that's the reason why there's the four things that are the most damaging to the body are a toxic intestinal tract, a toxic liver, parasites, and chemicals and heavy metals and nanotech, right? None of those four were ever recognized by allopathic medicine, and there were never any tests. You don't go to the allopathic doctor and he goes, oh, let me run a bunch of tests to see the health of your intestines. Let me run a bunch of tests to see the health of your liver. Let me run a bunch of tests to see how many parasites you have. And let me run a bunch of tests to see how many metals and nanotech you have. Purposely, they don't just. That's why really it's four things. You keep your intestines clean, you keep your liver clean, you keep the parasites out of your body, and you keep all the chemicals and heavy metals out of your body. And that activates your body's self-healing mechanism. Instead, what happens, people go in for blood work and the doctor says, oh, you have hyperthyroidism, you have whatever. Hello, the thyroid hormones are produced in the liver and converted in the liver. You don't have a problem with your thyroid. You have a problem with your liver. You don't have a problem with your heart if you have plaquing in the arteries, you have a problem with your liver because you weren't able to break down those fats and detoxify all that stuff because the liver is overworked. The liver is the only organ that has over 500 functions. Can you imagine that? 500 functions in the liver. It's associated with every organ, the spleen. It's your first line of defense of immune tissue, by the way, too. And with the amount of sugar, the amount of alcohol, the amount of toxicity that people are consuming, I think we've done more liver cleanses than anyone in the last 100 years. I think we're at the 3 million mark right now, somewhere around there. So we've done over 3 million liver cleanses. We have lots of data. I can say that probably most people's livers right now are functioning between 15 to 20% on the planet. If your liver is clean and your liver is functioning and detoxifying all those poisonous substances, it's producing and balancing all those vital hormones. It's producing the albumin. It's, your bile is running good. Your amino acids are being broken down. You're balancing out your sex hormones. You're processing and utilizing your minerals and vitamins correctly, breaking down the inorganic minerals. In my opinion, if your liver's working above 85%, you don't have any disease going on in your body. So that's why it's super important to continue to do liver cleanses and liver cleanses and liver cleanses. One liver cleanse with our estimation cleans about 15% of your liver. So if you just assume that everybody's liver is working at 20% right now, the first liver cleanse is going to bring it to 35. Second liver cleanse is going to bring it to 50. Third liver cleanse is going to bring it to 65. Fourth liver cleanse going to bring it to 80. Most people need to do at least 4 consecutive liver cleanses to get their liver back up and running. We've had cases where people have had 4-stage cancer, sent home to die with 2 weeks to live. All they did was 28 liver cleanses back to back, and all their cancer was gone. I'm not saying that's going to happen for everybody. That was a unique case. But what I'm saying is everything comes back to the liver. It's the only organ that regenerates itself every 90 days as well. Skin, and your epithelial lining every 24 hours. But the only organ that regenerates itself every 90 days. So parasite cleansing, simple recipe for everybody out there. Parasite cleansing, chemical and heavy metal cleansing. You can use the EDTA for that. You can use charcoal for that. You can use clays, apple pectin, many different things you can use to get those out of the system. Toxin binder, many parasite cleansing protocols out there. We all have really good ones. Liver cleansing, cleaning the liver, just get all that stuff out of your system. When you go to the doctor, whether it's a naturopathic doctor or someone else, you're just putting, whether it's pharmaceuticals or crappy vitamins and minerals they're selling you, you're just putting more stuff on the liver. So you really have to keep the intestines clean, the liver clean, and get rid of the parasites in your body. Right now, there's so many people. The livers are just heavily contaminated with flukes. And guess where yeast likes to live? Yeast likes to live in the liver. Why? The liver breaks down sugar, right? And alcohol. Yeast lives on sugar and secretes alcohol. And so it's a revolving system. So you got to get rid of all the yeast in your body and get rid of all the parasites in your body as well.
Hey, Paul, before Dr. Ardis signs us off and everything, just wanted to say thank you for this awesome interview. This has been one of our most fun. It's been one of the most funs I've had, and everything. So thanks for that. And I wanted to also say I sent you an email. I just put out a book, The Book of Questions, for exactly what Dr. J was talking about. So we're going to send you a copy of that. So just get back to me what your shipping address is, and we'll put one in the mail for you, bro.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
There's a specific chapter in there I want you to read, chapter 5. That's the chapter where I talk about my mother passing. And I think that's going to help you process what you've gone through and see that everything is going to be all right. It's going to teach you how to turn that into strength for yourself. Okay. So you don't have to go into those temptations of an alcohol to numb yourself out because something didn't go your way. We've all been there. We've had those moments, but now you can accelerate past because you'll get it when you get it. And I can't wait to hear from you once you get it.
Brilliant. Thank you.
All right. Well, I guess this is me going to be signing off. Go to healingfortheages.com, put in Charlie17, get your discount. Come join us. Come party with us. As Dr. Janice Schmidt coined several years ago, it is a celebration of solutions. are the healing for the ages events, every single one of them. It's all about solutions. My favorite thing, we've yapped about the cool stuff that Paul has said in his experiences. What resonated the most with me, I was going to save it for last, was this. Paul said there's a reason why come 3 p.m. when my body would start to crash and I'd go into my jitters, why it is I didn't go get another cup of coffee. He said, I intuitively knew something bad was going to happen if I did it. And I want you all at home to know, you know exactly what is always right for you and what is wrong with you. If you will just sit down, take an assessment of how you feel in any given moment by anything anybody says to you or presents to you, your intuition, that gut feeling will tell you something's wrong here. For the love of God, trust your intuition. God gave it to you for a reason. If you are a mother of a child sitting in a room and you're waiting for a person in a white coat to walk in at your child's wellness check, and they say to you, this is your child's polio vaccine scheduled appointment, and you intuitively feel this gut-wrenching feeling that something bad's going to happen here, for the love of God, listen to yourself and say, sorry, I'm going to pray about that. I'm going to leave with my child, and you're not doing it. And for no other reason than you know something's wrong. Please pump the brakes. God gave you that intuition for a reason, not just for your own children. It is there for you and your offspring, and dads, you have it too. I have been a Papa Bear my whole life. I have been the one intuitively knowing there's something wrong here. I better go research all this stuff before I ever give a kid another one. And none of my 4 kids, after my first kid was 1 year old, have ever received a vaccine or a drug ever. They've never gotten any of them. And there's 4 adults, all adults now out of 5, no drugs, no conditions, no medical diagnosis, totally healthy, no hay fever even. They're all good. But you've all been programmed to believe that cannot physically happen on this earth unless your kids have been vaccinated on schedule. No. That's ridiculous. Please trust your intuition. If you are looking at a menu, you're looking at your friends drinking something, and you get a bad feeling about eating something or being there in that room or with those people around you, or somebody walks in, you're like, I don't feel good about that guy. Would you please just leave? You don't have to figure out and quiz everybody around you and wait for the next Ages Q&A class where you can ask us why you felt that way. We don't know, but something's wrong. Trust your intuition. You have an incredible mind, incredible spirit intertwined with your physical body. They call it the soul. It is more intelligent than you have been led to believe. Please follow it. Follow Paul's example. If you don't follow Healing for the Ages, listening to this thing, all of you should be wondering right now, tomorrow morning, when you're looking at your toaster and you think you should open the freezer to take your Pop-Tart out and put it in the toaster, you might wonder, is this sugar good for me to start my day with? Or maybe I should cut back on the amount of coffee I have. I wonder if my brain can feel as good as Paul's when I wake up in the morning. I don't feel like I can even think straight without a cup of coffee after having alcohol the night before. Okay.
Is that what you do with the Pop-Tart?
I don't know what they do with Pop-Tarts. I don't eat them. Well, whatever you do
I've never had one. I don't know.
Or if you, okay, let's do whatever. But maybe it's a frozen meal dinner, right? You got your microwave oven meals, and you're like, wait, should I put this in? I don't know. Maybe you don't. Maybe for some reason you're like, maybe I should cook some vegetables or eat some fruit or make a fruit salad and chop up some fruit instead. Yeah, maybe there's a reason. Your body's telling you it needs something. When it's telling you you're thirsty and you're like, oh man, I really could have something to drink. It's probably water.
It needs water.
It's water. Probably water. Just put it in and let it do its thing. All right. It's really simple. Please trust yourself. We need you to trust yourself. You are unique. You are an amazing individual. You are in the image of God, created that way. He infused in you knowledge to be aware of your surroundings, your environment, the food you're putting. Only you know how you feel. Ever. No one else can tell you how you feel. Only you know. And if someone makes you feel bad, makes you feel depressed, makes you feel sad, why would you want them to be your friend? Go find someone to laugh with and go to a comedy show, man. Lift your spirits, man. Don't do it. If you can't sleep at night watching, Netflix horror films at night in bed, watching TV, and you turn it off and you're like, why can't I fall asleep for like 4 hours? I think I might have insomnia. I need to go do a sleep study. No, turn off the TV and stop watching these cortisol driving, stress related shows. Just go to sleep and turn it off. Get it out of your room. All right. Trust yourself. I'm Dr. Ardis. Dr. Ely, Dr. Schmidt, Dr. Group. We make up the Healing for the Ages panel and founders. We would love for you to join us, laugh with us, love with us as we gather on October 23rd, 24th, and 25th, 2025 in Dallas, Texas, or in your home, in your ear, on your phone, streaming live anywhere in the world. God bless you all.
Amen.
God
All I
bless.
can say is thank you, everybody, for joining us today. What a panel. What laughs. What serious subjects. We covered everything today. So please, everybody, go out there, check out the Healing for the Ages website. If all you do is just have a look, you're starting to take the first step to help yourself. So thanks, everybody. Once again, we look forward to seeing you all soon. Bye now.